Hey bro. So I just wanted to give you some really useful information about regarding audiobooks and how you can really improve your life, five times improvement, two times improve, double your productivity, double your knowledge on just topics that can really improve your life. And I want you to live the best life you can. So what I think is you should maximize your time. So anytime you're doing something like driving, or if you're doing like physical work, even just housework, doing chores, you can really maximize your knowledge and productivity by just listening to audiobooks. And just choose what everyone has, different purposes in their life. They're going through different stages in their life, and there are books. There's probably 99% of books are not worth reading. There's about 1%. It's actually a quote from Hamza, I think I saw from YouTube. I thought it was a great quote. It's, 99% of books are not worth reading. 1% of books are worth reading once, and 0.1%, I mean, I'm just making these figures up, but you know what I'm getting at, right? 0.1% of books are probably worth reading 100 times or 10 times, or whatever it is, 99 times. So you want to find those books, like the top tier books, that will just literally blow your mind. And it's like your brain is, you're on that, you know where your brain is right now. It's like you have like another brain or a few more extra brains when you start reading these amazing books, because it just blows your mind into like to several other brains, and then you just become smarter from knowing all this knowledge that has been tucked away in these books. These authors have spent probably hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of intense thought and focus, and based on their own experiences and the research that they've done, to really compress all that knowledge that they've acquired over, maybe, it could be decades, could be uh quite a few years. They've compressed it all into this book, which you can just read in, literally a few hours, if you're a fast reader. But that's another thing. You guys might think listening to an audiobook doesn't have the same level of comprehension as reading a normal book, but it's literally the same. I mean, if you Google it, Google tells you the same. From my experience, it feels the same to me. The only problem is you can't take notes while you're, obviously, if you're working, it's hard to take notes on what you're listening to, and it's easier to take notes when you can actually see the text. And then that really helps your like knowledge, because you can write down exactly what you want to take away from the book and just compress it down into like a easy to read format, so you can go back to reference it if it's something that a task that requires the information that's in the book. So it's just like a indexing system, so you can really go back and find the points of information that you really want to take out of the book. So I think, audiobooks are just a really fantastic way to level up your knowledge, just get smarter. I mean, who doesn't want to be smarter? I think everyone wants to be smarter. So, stop just scrolling, doing pointless, mindless stuff. I mean, I think it would just help everybody if you stop doing stuff that if you obviously, like social media, like watching content on TikTok or YouTube that isn't really doing anything for you. I mean, even educational stuff is sometimes it's so bland. The stuff that you watch on YouTube, it doesn't really teach you much. So I recommend, really integrating your mind into these books through audio. Obviously, you don't even need to read. Um, I need to remember to breathe when I'm doing videos, because sometimes I I can't even think because I don't breathe properly. My nose is a bit blocked as well. It's all good. Um, yeah, so I think if you really get smarter, your life will get better. Your interaction with people will get better, and then it's just like a snowball effect. So your life you'll just level up in all areas of your life, and it's going to make you happier, more successful in anything that you do, really. But you obviously want to find those key, really good, high level, really smart author books to listen to. And I do actually have a list of them right here. I can just bring them up. Just one sec. So the ones that so if you're on like a low budget, if you don't really want to spend any money, you can just get an app to download these YouTube videos of these books, and then just download it on your phone. You know, plug in your headphones and then just play it. I use VLC media player, and these books really, I think, are pretty top tier. I mean, I've done my research on really good books. I haven't I haven't listened to like heaps of a lot amount of books. I mean, I'm just trying to be honest with you, but I do believe that these books give incredible value, and you can just look at the reviews for yourselves, like on Google. There's a lot of review websites out there, and you can just search these up, and they should have pretty fantastic reviews. So the first one I'd recommend is Way of the Superior Man. If you're a man, I assume you are. I'll just briefly go over it. It's basically how to be the best version of yourself for you and your like woman, your life. It's just a fantastic book. You should really check it out. It even tells you how to breathe, and even intimacy, how to behave, and why women are so confusing. It basically gives you all the answers. It's like the ultimate dating. It's a fantastic book. You could need to check it out. The next book is Cybernetics, and this is super powerful. I discovered so visualizations. It seems like wishy-washy, like voodoo magic bullshit, but if you visualize yourself being what you want to be, and you just convince yourself like in your mind. So what I do currently is whenever I go to the toilet, I usually set a timer because I don't want to spend too long in the toilet, plus my legs go numb anyway. So that's a good sign. That usually happens after about 10 minutes. But I have a list of visualizing. I can go through just briefly. So I want to be like a top tier father. So I imagine myself, every time they come into the house, I just pick them up, like joyfully throw them into the air. And like I just see their lovely smiles on their face, and then they come back down. I put them down, and I just feel like a really good connection with them. So that takes me like a few seconds of visualization. I mean, at the beginning it might take a bit longer, but at the moment it just takes me a few seconds. And then the next visualization I do is I make $15,000 per month through a private community. I know it sounds like something that's way out in the future because I don't even have one. I've only got 28 subscribers, and probably nobody's clicked on my link down in the description about the private community. And so I visualize making 15,000. So I'm looking at my phone, and it's got like $15,000. Just make up some numbers, but just visualize yourself. Yeah, but you're holding your phone, and you got like that $15,000 came in. In April, 1st of April, you received it in your bank account, like your bank BSB and all that's on there, like in your app. And then I visualize myself having a fucking sick body, like a six pack, just ripped muscles. And then I visualize myself like this is like kind of like a story. I kind of weave into like a story, and then the next part is, Yeah, I'm with my perfect partner. So there's a girl I'm talking to now, and I think she's just absolutely lovely. And that's where the way the superior man really comes in, because I just know what to do with women now, and it makes me really excited to. Oh shit, my hair's not. You can't see my hair. Okay, I like my hair, so I want to show my hair. Uh, I've got literally just like this much of the screen I can see. Never mind. So after that visualization, I visualize myself being like a social. I didn't use the word, but master, like really articulate, great, like intelligent, high social intelligence, articulate. I probably should just said that, but so I'm like visualizing myself doing a like a coaching like a Q&A community thing with like 10 different people, and I'm just imagine them like kind of sitting around the table, and I'm like asking them questions and talking to them, and I'm trying to visualize in my head what I'm saying, what they're asking, and just sounding like a really intelligent person. So I am what I'm trying to visualize. And then I think the last visualization I do is oh, sleeping. Yeah, because I've got this condition called neuralgia parasitica, and it really disrupts my sleep. So I've got like a numb leg whenever I go to sleep, and I just visualize myself sleeping like seven. So I visualize like the timer obviously it's like sped up, right? So the time on my phone clock is like going from 12 to 7, like really fast, and I visualize myself just lying in the bed completely in darkness, and then when the sun comes up, the time I see the time on the phone like 7 a.m., not 8 a.m., and I'm still sleeping, and I visualize myself waking up like really well rested, had like fantastic sleep, and just really happy that I had the amazing sleep, because I've suffered chronic insomnia for, I mean, it feels like 6 months. I mean, it's a little bit on and off, but it's been, yeah, like I think my worst was about three months straight. And my sleep has improved quite a lot. I mean, it's not perfect. Like last night, I only had 5 hours because I had to get up early and I finished really late. Um, and yeah, that's a different story for another time. And so I'll go on to the next book because I'm kind of going on a tangent here. The next book is How to Win Friends and Influence People, audio book. So this book briefly is just how to fundamentally handle people in the best way possible. And if you use this book, if you play this book on repeat, it'll kind of just stick in your memory. And if you're just at work doing something, you'll be listening to something in the book like saying to be interesting, be interested in other people, and then you'll just like be interested. You just practice like basically straight away. So I think that's actually a really great. Obviously, different settings and stuff like that. But if you're continuously listening to these books, you can really put in the practical applications of fantastic books like this, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Another book that was pretty amazing. I started my own business. I mean, I was literally a total like kind of loser, like gaming, doing shitty habits, and this actually made me start my own business. I was listening to this book in my shitty job, um, over and over again, and it really made me believe I could become really successful and become a millionaire. So it's a really powerful book. Obviously, it didn't happen. I didn't have the right habits in place, and I had a shitty mindset. Even though I literally the self improvement I was doing was just listening to this book on repeat, and it made me think I could be like make $1 million in like a few months. It's pretty insane. and that was Think and Grow Rich, if I didn't mention that book already. And the next book is Atomic Habits. So this book is really fantastic. It just basically explains how habits form and how to form good habits, how to make bad habits harder to get rid of those bad habits. So that's Atomic Habits, and the next book is Good to Great. It's kind of this is a really nice like bit of a mind-blowing experience when you listen to it. It's about how really successful companies become like that are really good and become great, and how some companies are great and then they just fall off. And it just explains how, you can take a normal company over like 10 years or so and just make it like the best company. It's a really like mind-blowing and intelligent. It's a great listen, that one. And I think I mentioned already, but yeah, all these books are on YouTube, so you can just get an app to download. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but yeah, you can. I mean, there's so many websites and apps and stuff you can download to download these books and then just put them into an MP4 format and then listen to it like with a player. The next book is Psychology of Selling. So this is by Brian Tracy, and I found it really good because it explains why and how you should be selling yourself, present yourself the best way, because you're selling yourself every day, and how if you just continuously do the same things every day, you will become successful. So that's The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. And the next book is Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk, and he actually narrates it himself. And I think this is a really good book because it explains how being authentic, if you're trying to like create a YouTube channel like I am, how being authentic is just the way forward. And also Millionaire Fastlane, I haven't listened to that, but I read it. But that also says that, the fast track to success is to become famous. So when you become authentic, and you can become famous, and that's just, I think, what people want to see these days. Like people like Hamza says things like that, and that's where you can really make it big. Yeah, so that's the how many books is that? That's 8 books to get you started. If you wanted some recommendations. So why not do it now? It would just, honestly, it would take like a few minutes to set up, and you can be leveling up your knowledge like straight away. Like you can do it. It's anything like housework, even on the toilet. It's a bit hard in the shower though, because you can't hear the book unless you're like super loudspeakers. But I mean, I did try to do it when I was working out, but I found it was a bit too difficult to like comprehend, because you're not really concentrating on outside noises when you're working out. You like internally, trying to do the next rep or whatever. And I just found it. I mean, even with cardio, I don't think it's a great idea. But hey, if you do it with cardio, just let me know how it goes. And even with weight training as well, if you can listen to audiobooks while you're doing that, that'd be quite fascinating to me. Yeah, so there's really no I mean, there's really no legitimate excuse not to be learning all the time. I mean, I know there's so many distractions that are just pointless this day and age, that really don't. I mean, you might feel like you're getting somewhere, but most of the stuff that you're doing, and you probably know that. It's like I've got this colleague at work, and he can't read really well. And I told him, well, you just listen to audiobooks. And he's like, oh, I think he might have said something about, it costs money and all that. But I was like, hey, literally just download these apps and you can get them for free, pretty much. And I think he was a bit lazy and he didn't want to. But anyway, I just want you guys to learn, everyone to learn, because I just think it's better for everyone. You know, better for your family, for your kids, for your own self. You can teach other people too. So yeah, I think that's about it. So I've got this private community. It's really, really good. Link in description. I think I mentioned it just before. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. And level up your knowledge. And let me know how you go. Alright, peace. Peace, bro. See you later.